Hello everyone, welcome to computer classes, and today we will continue with the same chapter, ethics and safety measures in computing. In the last video we were discussing about some unethical practices, and today we will see the next practice. Let's start. Hacking. So next unethical practice is hacking. Hacking can be defined as unauthorized use of computer to steal valuable data and information or to release viruses to corrupt a computer system. So what is hacking? Unauthorized use of computer. Unauthorized means somebody is not authorized or allowed to use the computer, but he or she get the access of computer by using some programming or coding. And for what purpose? Purpose is to steal valuable data and information or to release any malware or viruses to corrupt the computer system. Means with bad intention. So this is the concept of hacking, and this is the perception we have. Now, what is hacker or who is hacker? Hacker is an individual who uses computer, networking or other skills to overcome a technical problem. See, who is hacker? Hacker is an individual who has advanced understanding of computer, networking, programming and hardware to overcome any technical issue or any technical problem. But we think that hackers are the person, or a hacker is a person who uses his or her abilities to gain unauthorized access to system or network in order to commit crimes. We have this perception, we have this mindset, but actually hacking is not always done with a bad intention. Hacking is not always done to commit the crimes, but there is a concept of ethical hacking also. In ethical hacking, companies ask the hackers, pay the hackers to find some weak points in their secure network so that it can be improved. Means to evaluate and test the security of the network, we hire the hackers. And this is called ethical hacking. So not always with some bad intention. This is for good purpose also. This is called ethical hacking. Although this is not in your syllabus, but just for the sake of knowledge. And hackers are of three categories. First is white hat hacker, second is black hat hacker, and the third is grey hat hacker. White hat hackers are also called ethical hackers, or we can say they are good guys, and they do hacking as a part of their job or without any bad intention, or we can say for some good purpose they do the hacking. On the other hand, black hat hackers, they get the unauthorized access to networks and systems with bad intention, with malicious intention, for stealing information, spreading malware or earning profit from ransomware. Ransomware, I hope you remember, hackers, what they do, they freeze the system, they put some viruses or something like your system stops working, and you get the message of from the hackers for asking some money. So if you pay some amount, then only your system will be normal or will be rectified. So this is called ransomware. Ransomware we have already discussed in a separate video. So you can go through that also. Now, so these hackers are called black hat hackers. Now the grey hat hackers. Third is grey hat hackers. They lie somewhere between white hat hacker and black hat hacker. Means they are neither too ethical nor too bad to harm others. So these are 3 types of hackers. Fine. Okay, now the next is reasons for hacking. It may be taken as a challenge. So what are the reasons for hacking? See, why do people do hacking? It may be taken as a challenge. Means somebody, if suppose somebody says you that show me to hack that computer, they give you a challenge and you accept the challenge. So it may be taken as a challenge from anybody, from your friends even. People think that it is a part of excitement in the field of computer. Some think that it is a part of excitement. Let's see what will be happen. So there is a curiosity, there is a excitement. So with that excitement, sometimes they do hacking. Some people are mentally sick and want to apply their intelligence in anti-social activities. Some people are mentally sick and their intention is only to harm others. So there are some people also. People want to make destructive work as a tool for gaining knowledge and doing experiment. Just for the sake of experiment and to gain more knowledge, they do such work. So these can be reasons for hacking. Now the phishing. What is phishing? Phishing is a form of illegal act to steal user data like login credentials, debit or credit card details. It occurs when an attacker pretends as you are trustworthy and send you a link through email or SMS. See what happens in phishing. You get an email from a trustworthy. Trustworthy means either from the bank or it looks like very genuine email. But when you open that email, or in email maybe a link will be there. So when you click on that link, you get the form, sometimes a form also. So the user may receive a message saying that they have to verify their account by following a link. In reality, link is forced. So you get the link and the message can be that we are verifying your bank account, so we need some details, so you need to fill that form. And with innocence, what we do, we fill the form and we give the sensitive information like our account number, password, and we all fill in that form. Sometimes it happens. So this is called phishing. Sometimes when we click on link, malware, there are chances of malware get installed in your system and then malware starts passing information to the attacker or to the hacker. And there are other possibilities also to transfer the fund from your account, whatever. So this is called phishing. Phishing is a form of illegal act to steal user data like login credential, debit or credit card details. Okay, the recipient or user is then tricked into clicking a malicious link which can lead to the installation of malware, the freezing of system as part of a ransomware attack, just now we have discussed, or any other devastating result like stealing of funds. So there are chances. So whenever you get any link either through email or through SMS, we should not click directly. If you get the link of your bank ICICI, you should not go to the bank the bank website through that link. You should write the web address in the address bar. We should never click on the link, because when you click the link, the chances of malware and all these will be there. Spam. Unwanted messages of mailbox are called spam. Most of the spam contain commercial advertising, unconvinced products, or get rich quick scheme. Spams are the unwanted messages or mails, and mostly in the spam there are advertisements. There will be some of advertisements of unconvinced products, or there can be any schemes, Jito bumper, like sometimes you get the messages like all that. So all these are spams. It is an attempt to force the message on people who would not otherwise choose to receive it. See, if you are given the choice to choose these messages, you will never choose to receive these messages. So spam is an attempt to force the message without our consent. It is an attempt to force the messages on people. These unwanted messages not only waste the valuable time of the user but also occupy memory space of the system. Very true. There are chances of virus to enter in our system through these spams, and by installing good antivirus and deleting such mails without reading, right, we can prevent our system from the effect of spams. Now the next is software piracy. When we purchase an original software, we become a licensed user. When you purchase the software, you become a licensed user. We get the right to use that software on our computer, but we can't make copies and distribute to our friends and colleagues. We get the right to use that software, but we do not get the right to make its copies and distribute to our friends and colleagues. The process of making copies of software or downloading without buying the appropriate license or copyright, it is known as software piracy. So what is software piracy? The process of making copies of software or downloading from the internet without paying the amount is known as software piracy. So we should purchase the software, not to download or not to get the copies from the market. Now what are the ways to avoid piracy? Always buy the software from a reputed organization. Make sure that your software comes with a license agreement, original disk and authentic packaging with copyright. If the seller provides the direction to obtain a serial number, it indicates that the software is not authentic. If your seller says that you will get the serial number from there or from that particular website, it indicates that the software is not authentic, means something wrong there. You should get the license agreement, original disk and authentic packages while purchasing the software. I hope this is clear. So that's it in this video. Thanks for watching.